Hi everyone, welcome back to the Invisible Wall Show. Once again, me and Tim Chase are going to talk about Arsenal, the last performances. Let's see what come out because Tim is always tricking what he asked me. Welcome back, my friend. How are you? Okay?
I'm good, mate. I've had the vaccination, so I'm feeling top. Well, I'm feeling crap, but I feel better than if I did got the coronavirus. So yeah, vaccination's done. Arm's a bit sore, feel a bit tired. Be all right. So
I'll be fine. That's good. Good news. Good news. Yeah. Good news.
So it was really strange. So after I spoke to one of my friends after I had it done yesterday, and it's like a layer of stress that I didn't even think about being removed, because obviously we've been living in this pandemic with this virus that we don't know if we're going to get it. We don't know where we're going to get it from. We don't know if we're going to be one of the rare people to die if we get it, and how badly the virus is going to affect us. So it's kind of this. It's like living in your village or city with a sniper. You know, there's a sniper somewhere that he's going to shoot 5 people every day, but you don't know if he's going to be firing blanks or if you're going to get shot. So if you shoot, you don't know if you're going to die from it. And it's really like now that layer of stress has been removed. I sat in the car after I had the vaccination and went, so it's weird, like a bit of pressure had been relieved. It was quite a relief.
That's good.
Yeah,
no, that's good. That's good. No, that's important. I hope everything's going to be okay to all of us. And here, I had to wait a bit more, but I think the country is progressing. That I read a few news about reaction of the vaccines for some people that are investigating. But let's be positive that things going to be good in the best way as it can be, and soon as possible we can get everyone, have the vaccines and at least release the pressure a little bit, now our minds, and now to live the life, the best way we can. This positive, and well, we have from the last few games of Arsenal, starting from the Europa League, not too positive as you got from your vaccine the last few days.
It's probably about as much fun as well. Watching Arsenal in the Europa League, about as much fun as having an injection.
Yeah, it's not fun. Not fun for all Arsenal fans. I think for the players as well, it's not good enough. I think it's strange, very strange to speak about it, and but also very hard to talk because there's something that we have been talking about Arsenal many times. We have done it here. Is about lack of consistency in the performance. I think this has been one of the things we spoke a lot here. But once again, we have to mention that the lack of consistency in that game during the season, not only in this particular game, caused them the opportunity to play again the final of Europa League. It's very tough, I think, for everyone. I've read some comments with Arteta, some players, but especially from Arteta, everyone was devastated after. They have to, of course, they have to, because they didn't do enough in the game in order to qualify, in order to deserve the qualification for the final. This is tough to admit. For me, this is very hard to admit that for Arsenal fans, but it's the reality.
Yeah, it just wasn't quite good enough. They didn't have the attitude of would rather lose this 2-0 than 0-0. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure Arsenal fans would rather them lose 2 or 3-0 and actually at least try than just go 0-0. 0-0 was just such a pathetic result. They all look really scared. I mean, even Partey, who's normally so classy and composed, he didn't look like he looked petrified as well. It's like the pressure was really getting to everybody. And then some strange changes from Arteta, taking Aubameyang off and bringing Willian on, who hadn't scored for Arsenal yet, or certainly hadn't scored for them in the league. It's a strange decision to take Aubameyang off, which didn't seem that there was I don't know if I'm sure the passion was there, but it just didn't look like it, and they just all looked so scared, and there just wasn't enough. There wasn't enough tact. It's just one goal they needed, and the Villarreal goalkeeper looked terrible with crosses. He didn't look comfortable either. It just was. It was. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but it was so frustrating to watch because now after doing these podcasts with you, I probably watch more Arsenal games than I do Chelsea now. I'm probably almost getting more involved in the Arsenal games than the Chelsea ones. But it just wasn't enough, mate, was it?
No, it's not enough. Yeah, it's tough. It's very hard. I believe from the rest of the game they have, it's going to be tough for them in their minds to cope with the pressure of every game until the end of the season, because what they are going to play for now, and there is nothing basically to play for until the end of the season, to the last day of the Premier League. But they have to be professional. I think this is one thing they have to be committed to the club, to give the best efforts they can produce on the field, in the training session, deliver the best they can. Obviously, arrive at this point, for a club like Arsenal, at this point of the season, and don't have anything to play for is it's so disappointed. It's so disappointed.
Yeah,
and I think all the fans are good because of it. But we have to be realistic. If you look the whole season, we didn't see much improvements from the last season, for example. In my opinion, yeah, got a few players came on, and but the way that they were doing things before hasn't changed much. I could not see big improvements on them. And the toughest thing is because next season there is no Champions League. That was a dream to come back, and no Europa League.
And it seems like there's this conversation.
But I agree. I agree with you. For example, without it, of course, many times we spoke about him. Of course, very supportive. But was for me a little bit strange when he changed Aubameyang in the game. I would not change. I would not change my best player, despite he was not, in a good, maybe the best day. I think maybe it's because the last few days before this game he wasn't feeling well. Maybe this is the reason. Just maybe to think on the human side of the player, because it's important as well. But if this is not the case, you have to keep your best player in these games, because they just need one moment to be decisive. But the point we have to analyze if it was the case of just preserve his health. I think if this was the reason, we have always to be very careful when just point the finger on the manager's decision.
There might be external factors. You're absolutely right. But it just did seem like you would have thought they had to have a formation where him and Lacazette would have started. Lacazette's probably, I think, the top goal scorer and is looking really good going forward. You would have thought in a game where you just need to score one goal, having all your attackers on there and just trying to get a goal. But in the end, it was just a bit of pathetic response.
I was expecting both of them starts in the game. Yeah. And I was expecting both of them play together for this game. Have like your best players, because like I said, has been so important for Arsenal. In many games, scoring goals and being the captain in many occasions. But I think important for the results Arsenal had, even in the Premier League, not only in the Premier League but also in the Europa League.
Yeah.
And I was expecting both of them to be on the field for this game. But let's see, it's tough. I think for all of Arsenal fans, for the players, for all, the staff around the club, it's a strange season, very, very strange and tough season. And the point is, what's next? What's next?
Well, there needs to be some drastic changes because otherwise they're just going to continue to go back. Because what's happening is, obviously, with Arsene Wenger, he always made it to the Champions League. Then when he left, he obviously was a new manager, and there's obviously going to be a big change and time for change. We saw that with Alex Ferguson and Manchester United. It took them a while to get back up, but Man United were still investing in players. And Arsenal are going backwards and backwards because they're not spending enough in the transfer window. They're just literally not spending enough. And everybody who can look at Arsenal knows that you've got to bring in some different players. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. And you've just got to change it. There's only something you've had, two different managers, three, including Freddie Ljungberg, and none of them can get a good tune out of the team. So how many managers are you going to go through before you realise that there's actually probably some players that need to be left, need to be moved on? We need to bring some big players in, and it's going to take some significant investment in that squad to make them to the Champions League. I mean, the league doesn't lie. The league is over 38 games, and it doesn't lie. It's not nice to say, but it means that they are the 10th best team in the Premier League in England at the moment.
There's no point, of keeping changing managers as they did and not have an important change in the squad. And this is the reality. Because Arsenal cannot the way they are, when you look the top 6 teams, they're not even there this season. The first 6, they are not even there. It's tough. I think they have to think and consider about sign, players that can come and deliver and put them back where Arsenal deserve. Let's hope they, after this season, it's appointments and not, they hope they have to qualify again for the Champions League for next season. It's off, it's cancelled, but then the Europa League as well.
Yeah.
And how many games? There is 3 games left. Let's see.
Palace the weekend.
Yeah, it's 3 games left. Arsenal are 9. They are at the moment out of qualification and everything.
But if you look at someone like Leicester don't spend a huge amount on players. They have a good manager and they have a good recruitment policy. And we said last week, how many of the Arsenal players on this season's performance will get into the first team at a club in the top 6? I think Tierney and Saka have been great players, but I don't know if there are better players in the top 6. Lacazette doesn't have a great season. Aubameyang hasn't had a great season. I don't think he'll get in. Lacazette, I think there's probably better strikers in the top 6. If your squad isn't top 6 and your players aren't top 6, how can you expect a manager to deliver it? Now, I'm not saying that Arteta is the answer, but he's, the manager, they either back Arteta in the transfer window and get some players that are going to fight and play as they should be with Arsenal. This Arsenal is a big football club, or they get a new manager in it, but they have to invest in players, right?
Yeah. No, this is true. It's the reality. There's no way to think different. They have to invest in players and to give a new face and new mentality on the field. You can have the mentality of the club, the mentality of the manager, but if things are not happening well on the field, you have to think about and how can you change it. I think this is important. And in the sequence of it, they had like a good result against the before almost relegated West Brom, but they did the job. Not if things were different from what they did against West Brom, then we had to say they are in trouble. But they won the game. I think it's important that some younger players have Smith Rowe is back in the team and score goal. I I do believe he's a very good player, young, talented, and was important for him to to be on the field, score goals. Nice goal from Pepe as well, when great free kick from Williams.
Yeah.
And after the disappointment of Europa League, it's a must-win game. There's no other way to think. It's a must-win game. They have done the job, and not much, honestly, to say about this game because still everyone, I believe, thinking about what was missed for the Europa League game in order to qualify. But coming back, and win the game against West Brom is the job everyone expects them to do. Nothing less from what they have done. And hope the mood is going to be good for tonight's game for the game against Chelsea, because they need to get in the good mood, because Chelsea is once again the finalist of is going to be the final, play the final against Manchester City of Champions League this season. It's going to be a very hard game, considering the performance Chelsea have made in the last, since basically when the new manager came on, and he's doing a great job. Yes. And he's a very good manager. He's a very good manager. Not, sometimes it's very strange, when we see this situation, because Frank Lampard was there basically with the same players. Now he left, I think, a good foundation to Chelsea, and now another manager arrived in this condition of play the final, and but I have to give credit for both of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess, because we cannot say that what Frank did, people have to forget. But back to Arsenal, I think Arsenal have to be very well prepared, because it's going to be a very hard game.
Yeah, I think you're right. So to touch on what you're saying, I think Lampard was probably about as far as he could. I don't think he would have taken Chelsea as far in the Champions League. I don't think he has the tactical awareness that Thomas Tuchel has. And I think Tuchel obviously has beaten Pep twice now with his tactics. And I think as a Chelsea fan, I was devastated to see, really upset to see Lampard go. But I think Tuchel's kind of won me over a little bit with his performances. His tactics and his selections, because he just does. He's beaten Pep. Pep's one of the best managers out there. He's beaten him twice, and the Chelsea squad isn't as good as the Man City squad. But it's his tactics, and I don't think Lampard would have had that tactical awareness to be able to beat Pep, because he's just hasn't been in the job for long enough. I think Lampard will be a very good manager eventually, but it's just probably a bit too early for him.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a good manager.
So I think it'll be a tough game tonight, but you never know. Chelsea might be, because obviously Chelsea got the FA Cup final on Saturday, and then the Champions League and then the Champions League at the end of the month. So they might be just kind of not really taking this game too seriously. You never know. I think it should hopefully be.
Listen, this is two big clubs going to play. Despite the condition of both of them is not so easy. But at the moment, Chelsea is the fourth in the Premier League.
Yeah,
I don't know if they arrive in third for this season. It's going to change much on that condition for the Champions League next year. I believe that the moments for them, they don't want to lose any points for Arsenal.
Keep the momentum.
Probably what may happen is that they are going to change players for this game. This is natural, because they have important competition. They have FA Cup final, they have Champions League final. Just the rotation of players is something natural, but not lose the focus of play home and win the game. It's going to be a tough game for Arsenal. I hope that they can go to this game and see that it's important, to perform and get the results until the end of the season. Play for themselves, play for the fans, play for the club in the best way. Finish the season not as everyone expects, of course, but do their best, in terms of performance until the last game. It's hard, when you say that, do their best, because people question why they are going to do their best now if they haven't shown it during the season. But it's important. You have your pride. You have to play for your pride. You have to play for the pride of these fans and represent them in the best way you can. There's no other way to be, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, exactly. You're playing for the shirt next year, unless you do well, maybe you'll not have a position in the team next year.
Yeah, sure, my friend. Well, let's see. Hope that tonight I hope this game against Chelsea, they can get it on the best of them. I hope the game's going to be good. And let's see what Arsenal we are going to see for this game. Wish them luck. Wish everyone good luck for this game, and let's be supportive to them.
Well, I won't, but I appreciate the sentiment.
I know. You want them to lose the game, especially
I want to see a good
play
game
against your team.
Yeah,
of course. This is what we want, mate. I think this is what we want. Despite you are going to wear your Chelsea t-shirt, have your drink out there, no problem. But of course, we, as a football fan, we always want a good game, because this is what we love about football, watching good games.
Well, do you know what? I think Arsenal have beaten Chelsea the last 2 times, because I give you shit on the podcast and then Arsenal win. That's what's happened the last 2 times. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and be humble this time so I don't have to do a forfeit.
Yeah. Now let's see. There's no prediction again.
Right.
I'm being disappointed. I don't want to do any prediction, and but I keep my positiveness for this game. Let's hope that Arsenal and the players deliver a good job, a good work tonight against Chelsea, and I hope that we have a good game. I think this is important for football. I think it's important for the game, and let's see what Arsenal we are going to watch against Chelsea.
Absolutely. Nice one, mate. Good
Great,
luck.
mate. Thank you. All the best.
Cheers, man.
All the best, my friend. Thank you once again. See you soon.